New information about the movie, Constantine 2, has been revealed, and we'll see the darkest version of the character. When the world is approaching chaos, and the only solution is to send a sinner to do the dirty work, how far is the world's greatest exorcist willing to go to vindicate and reach salvation? Constantine's story is one about falling into darkness and returning to the light. The story of a hero who walked through hell to save the one he loved. In this video, we will be analyzing the new updates on the Constantine movie, as something is about to change in the DC Comics universe. What will happen in this movie, and when we could expect the first trailer. Do you want to know more? And for videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Before starting this video, I invite you to participate in the new giveaway we will be having in this channel, where we will be giving away the first volume of Scarlet Witch by Steve Orlando, a story that will mark the future of the Marvel Universe. To participate, all you have to do is comment which is your favorite moment of the Marvel Universe. The winner will be announced on November 30th. One of the most iconic movies of Keanu Reeves' career, without a doubt, is Constantine, one in which he played the most powerful exorcist in the DC universe. First, let's talk about the recent news about the movie, and then we'll talk about the possible theories and rumors so far. This movie had been rumored for years, as it is one of Keanu Reeves' most beloved films. But its pre-production officially started this year after the announcement at the San Diego Comic-Con this past July. In this announcement, it was mentioned not only that we would have Keanu Reeves back, but also that the film would be directed by Akiva Goldsman and Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, two industry veterans. One of the concerns about the film was that the original showed several controversial scenes that today would be difficult to bring to the big screen. However, in the past few days it has been mentioned that the film will carry an R rating, and that it will be focused on adult audiences. Although it was thought that perhaps we could see a Marvelized version of Constantine, it seems that we will see a darker version, and in his final stage of life. Part of the news from Collider reads as follows. During Collider's Producers on Producing panel at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, host Steve Weintraub discussed the sequel to the 2005 superhero horror movie, Constantine. In the discussion, producers Lorenzo Di Bonaventura and Akiva Goldsman, two veterans of the movie industry, gave their thoughts on the sequel. In particular, the crafting of the script. About the potential for an R-rated script, Goldsman notes, "Oh, I can't say that. I'm definitely writing a script about Constantine." Bonaventura added a humorous note about what helped get the first film made. "What's funny about Constantine? I was president and put you on Constantine. I was trying to get a green light, then I ended up becoming one of the producers as I left the studio. Our boss was an ardent anti-smoker, and he was absolutely against this movie because he's a character. So there are funny things that get movies made. This is what happened. I went to him and said, 'This is an anti-smoking movie.' And he said, 'What do you mean?' I said, 'He gets cancer. He got me money.'" This part of the news draws a lot of attention, because one of the least controversial elements of Constantine's first film is watching him smoke. However, those of us who have seen it know that there are much more shocking moments, scenes that really show how complicated his life is. Constantine faces tough situations, decisions that not only affect his destiny, but also lead him to lose his chance to get to heaven. This is all part of what makes him such an interesting character. In the first film, Constantine is not your typical hero. He's a broken guy with serious problems, struggling with his own mistakes while trying to do some good in a world full of darkness. It's that serious, complex side of the character that makes him stand out, and the reason why many fans keep asking for more of that version of him. Now, if the writers of Constantine 2 are taking all of this into account when writing the new story, it looks like we're going to be left with that dark and complicated version we already know, rather than something lighter or more humorous. This is good news for those who enjoyed the first film. But well, let's continue to see what else the news says to understand where this sequel is headed. The news goes on to say the following. In the discussion with Weintraub, Goldsman sheds light on the process that went into getting the project to where it is today, citing a Reeves interview with Stephen Colbert as a fair catalyst. Yes, you get to be one of the patron saints of this redux. Fundamentally, what happened was, we went through a bunch of different lives at Warner Bros. We have always been trying very hard to reconvene the group from the first movie. Francis and Keanu in particular had very much wanted to revisit the character. As I'm sure those of you who follow this know, and those of you who don't shouldn't, the movie we made, we thought was PG-13, and then it was R because of demons. So, everybody sort of felt like, gee, if it was going to be R, we might have dug a little more deeply into some of the stuff we were working with. This part of the news mentions the possibility of censorship by the studio, something that, to be honest, is not surprising, because it is something quite common in this company. But at the same time, this could indicate that the new movie will be more focused on adult audiences, especially those who enjoyed the first installment. Although studios tend to censor certain aspects to make films more suitable for everyone, Constantine managed to stand out for its dark and serious tone. The first film, even with its limitations, became a fan favorite with Keanu Reeves, and one of the highest-rated DC films. This made the idea of a sequel almost inevitable, though it has taken us a long time to get here. Now, with this new installment, it looks like the approach could be more authentic, and aimed at audiences who really appreciate these types of stories. Now, what is this movie about? According to Constantine's story, there are 3 fallen angels, Lucifer and 2 other powerful fallen angels. The second fallen angel is an entity that God created to keep Lucifer at bay, and eventually fell as well. Many rumors point to the fact that in this movie we will see the second fallen angel, because in the comics, he is a much stronger demon than Lucifer and would be seen confronting Constantine. According to the comics, Constantine, upon discovering that he was suffering from lung cancer, decided to sell his soul to the second fallen. However, in a strategic move, he also sold it to the first and the third, knowing that neither would risk a fight with each other for control of his soul. Then, in a desperate but calculated act, Constantine ended his own life, forcing these demons to heal him in order to avoid a battle that could destabilize the entire hell. This trick demonstrates how Constantine is always one step ahead, even in the face of the most fearsome forces. The funny thing is that what Constantine does in the comics is quite similar to the end of the first movie, when he manages to trick Lucifer just at the moment when he tries to keep his soul. It's that cunning way of handling things that makes the character so unique. Now, if we think about it, while Lucifer was trying to claim his soul in that scene, it wouldn't be weird to imagine that other, more powerful entities were watching, waiting for their chance to get in on the matter or take some benefit. In the movie universe, this could open the door for Constantine to face someone like the second of the fallen, a rather unique demon. This being has an amorphous and unstable form, sometimes appearing as a black, almost liquid mass that constantly transforms. According to the comics, he is a demon who acts very strategically, always calculating his movements. In fact, he is the one who recommends to be careful with Constantine's soul, because he knows that a fight for it could weaken hell so much that heaven could take advantage of the moment to invade and win the game. This approach shows us a very interesting side of how things work in hell according to Christian mythology. Even among the most evil beings, there are hierarchies, debates, and strategies to maintain the balance of power against heaven. The funny thing is that all this connects very well with the dark and strategic style that characterizes Constantine. For now, Constantine 2 is in pre-production, and it looks like filming could begin in the next few months. If all goes according to plan, we could be seeing the film in late 2025 or 2026, although as we mentioned before, there is a possibility that they will release a teaser trailer before the end of this year. Now, there is a theory that points to the fact that we could see a crossover with other superheroes. Something similar to what we saw in the Flash series, where a different version of Constantine teamed up with Flash and the Legends to take on the villains of the multiverse. While it sounds exciting, I personally prefer this movie to stay in its own universe. Including cameos from other characters often leads to incomplete stories that only serve to connect to other movies. Marvel's formula is already pretty worn out, and I think DC has a chance to prove that it can still build solid stories independently. But tell me, what do you think about all this? Would you like to see the second Constantine movie? Or do you think we'll see more of a comic book version? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on the Oasis Geek.